welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of food history. You think you know your grub, eh? Think you've got the palate of a culinary connoisseur? Well, get ready to have your minds blown because we're about to uncover the scandalous truths behind some of your favorite everyday foods. You won't believe the secret origins of these 13 everyday foods. We're talking shocking revelations that would make a Michelin star chef spit out their soufflé. Get ready to learn, you donkey. Ketchup, that glorious red nectar you slather on your burgers and fries, wasn't always the tomato-y goodness you know and love. Get this, ketchup's ancestors came all the way from Asia, and they were about as far from a barbecue staple as you can get. Imagine a fermented fish sauce reeking of the ocean's worst, simmering in the sun. It was the Chinese who started this whole fishy mess, calling it ketchup, which roughly translates to brine of pickled fish. The British got a hold of this fishy abomination in the 17th century, and for reasons beyond comprehension, decided to tweak it. They swapped out the fish for ingredients like mushrooms and walnuts, creating a sort of proto-ketchup that was still a far cry from what we enjoy today. It wasn't until the 19th century, when some bright spark in America decided to add tomatoes to the mix, that ketchup finally started to resemble the condiment we know and love. Chocolate, that velvety smooth indulgence, the ultimate symbol of luxury and decadence, has a history as rich and complex as its flavor. We're traveling back in time, thousands of years, to the steamy jungles of Mesoamerica. Here, amongst the ancient Mayan and Aztec civilizations, chocolate wasn't a sweet treat, it was a sacred elixir, a bitter brew reserved for rituals and ceremonies. They ground roasted cacao beans into a paste, mixed it with water and spices, and whipped it into a frothy drink that was about as appealing to a modern palate as a cup of dirt. The Aztecs believed that the cacao bean was a gift from the gods, and they even used it as currency. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they were initially repulsed by this bitter drink, but they soon realized its potential and brought it back to Europe, where it underwent a dramatic transformation with the addition of sugar and vanilla. Ice cream, that frosty delight, has a history as long and winding as a Mr. Whippy swirl. It began in ancient China with ice, snow, rice, honey and fruit. Persia added rosewater, saffron and vermicelli noodles. These early versions laid the groundwork for today's creamy treats. Marco Polo brought ice cream to Europe in the 13th century. The first English recipe appeared in the 18th century. From simple ice and fruit to countless flavors, ice cream is a global phenomenon. Next time you enjoy a scoop, remember its storied history. Pizza, that glorious combination of crispy crust, tangy sauce and gooey cheese, is a culinary masterpiece that needs no introduction. But while pizza as we know it today might seem like a modern invention, its roots stretch back centuries to the humble streets of Naples, Italy. We're talking simple flatbreads cooked in wood-fired ovens and topped with whatever ingredients were on hand. In 18th century Naples, these flatbreads were a staple food for the city's working class, a cheap and cheerful meal that could be eaten on the go. Legend has it that the iconic Margherita pizza was created in 1889, when Queen Margherita of Savoy visited Naples and requested a dish that reflected the colors of the Italian flag. A local pizzaiolo named Raffaele Esposito rose to the challenge, creating a pizza topped with red tomatoes, white mozzarella and green basil. From its humble beginnings as a Neapolitan street food, pizza has become a global phenomenon with countless variations and toppings to satisfy every taste bud. Popcorn, that light and airy snack that's the perfect companion for a movie night, has a history that's as old as time itself. Archaeologists have discovered evidence of popcorn dating back over 9,000 years in Mexico. For ancient civilizations in Mexico, popcorn wasn't just a snack, it was an integral part of their culture and rituals. They used it in religious ceremonies, decorated their homes with it, and even wore it as jewelry. When Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas, he was introduced to popcorn by the indigenous people who called it maíz. It wasn't until the 19th century that popcorn really took off in the United States, becoming a popular snack at fairs, circuses, and eventually movie theaters. So next time you're munching on a bucket of popcorn, remember its ancient origins and the generations of popcorn lovers who came before you. Coffee, that magical elixir that jumpstarts your day. Legend has it that a goat herder named Kaldi discovered coffee when his goats ate some berries and became energetic. Monks brewed the berries and found the drink invigorating, helping them stay awake for prayers. Coffee spread quickly, becoming a staple in the Middle East and eventually a global phenomenon. French fries, those golden sticks of crispy, salty goodness, are as American as apple pie, right? Well, hold on to your ketchup, because this culinary icon has a secret. It's not actually French. The story goes that sometime in the 17th century, in the small villages nestled along the Meuse River in Belgium, villagers had a tradition of frying up small fish caught from the icy waters. But when the river froze over in winter and fish were scarce, they had to get creative. They turned to potatoes, a readily available crop, and sliced them into thin strips mimicking the shape of their beloved fried fish. These potato strips were then deep fried in animal fat until golden brown and crispy, creating the world's first French fries. So the next time you're dipping a French fry into a pool of ketchup, remember its Belgian heritage and the resourceful villagers who turned a winter food shortage into a global culinary icon. Sushi, a blend of vinegared rice and fresh seafood, is synonymous with Japanese cuisine, but its origins lie in Southeast Asia with narizushi, a method of fermenting fish in rice and salt. By the 17th century, Edo chefs served vinegared rice with fresh seafood, creating modern sushi. Next time you enjoy sushi, remember its humble origins and evolution. The sandwich, that ubiquitous lunchtime staple, seems like such a simple concept. Enter John Montague, the fourth Earl of Sandwich, a man known for his love of card games and his aversion to interrupting his gambling sessions for something as trivial as a meal. Legend has it that during a particularly grueling 24-hour card game, the Earl demanded a meal that wouldn't require him to leave the gaming table. His chef, faced with a culinary conundrum, came up with a brilliant solution. He served the Earl slices of roasted beef nestled between two slices of toasted bread. The Earl's fellow gamblers, impressed by this ingenious culinary invention, began ordering the same as sandwich. And so the sandwich, named after its unwitting creator, became a sensation among the English aristocracy. So next time you're biting into a sandwich, remember the Earl of Sandwich, whose love of cards and disdain for meal interruptions inadvertently gave birth to one of the world's most beloved culinary creations. Potato chips, those crispy, salty snacks that disappear in a flash, have a history that's as unexpected as their addictive flavor. Our story takes place in 1853 in a swanky resort in Saratoga Springs, New York. There, a chef named George Crumb was known for his culinary prowess and perhaps his short temper. One fateful day, a particularly fussy customer kept sending back his order of French fries, complaining they were too thick, too soggy, and not salty enough. Crumb, at his wit's end, decided to teach the customer a lesson. He sliced the potatoes paper thin, fried them to a crisp, and doused them in salt. To his surprise, the customer loved them. So, next time you're crunching on a chip, remember George Crumb, the chef who turned a customer complaint into a culinary triumph. Pretzels, those salty, knotted snacks that have been satisfying cravings for centuries, have a history that's as twisted as their shape. We're traveling back to the early Middle Ages, to the monasteries of southern Europe, where monks were hard at work baking, brewing, and apparently inventing snacks. Legend has it that they were created by monks as a Lenten treat. The pretzel's shape, with its three holes, was said to represent the Holy Trinity, and its simple ingredients of water, flour, and salt adhered to the strict dietary restrictions of Lent. These early pretzels were hard and crunchy, more like a breadstick than the soft pretzels we often enjoy today. So next time you're munching on a pretzel, remember its humble beginnings in the monasteries of Europe and the monks who, intentionally or not, gave the world this beloved snack. Worcestershire sauce, that pungent umami-rich condiment that adds a savory depth to countless dishes, is a culinary enigma. Our story takes us back to the 1830s, to the town of Worcester, England, where two chemists, John Lee and William Perrins, were tasked with recreating an exotic Indian sauce for a local nobleman. The exact ingredients of this Indian sauce remain a mystery, but Lee and Perrins set to work experimenting with a blend of fermented fish, tamarind, molasses, vinegar, and spices. The resulting concoction was, to put it mildly, unappetizing. Dismayed, they relegated their failed experiment to the cellar and promptly forgot about it. Months later, while clearing out the cellar, they stumbled upon their forgotten sauce. To their astonishment, the sauce had undergone a remarkable transformation during its time in the cellar. So, next time you're adding a dash of Worcestershire sauce to your favorite dish, remember its accidental origins, a testament to the transformative power of time fermentation and a healthy dose of culinary serendipity. The Caesar salad, a symphony of crisp romaine lettuce, creamy dressing, crunchy croutons, and salty Parmesan cheese, is a culinary classic. But this iconic salad wasn't born in a fancy restaurant or a Michelin-starred chef's kitchen. It was created on the fly in a Tijuana restaurant by a desperate restaurateur trying to impress a hungry crowd. Our story takes place in 1924 in Tijuana, Mexico, at a restaurant called Caesar's, owned by an Italian-American restaurateur named Cesar Cardini. Faced with a dwindling supply of ingredients, Cardini had to get creative. He tossed together a simple salad of romaine lettuce, garlic-infused olive oil, lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, Parmesan cheese, and croutons, all prepared tableside with a touch of showmanship. So next time you're savoring a Caesar salad, remember Cesar Cardini, the resourceful restaurateur who, faced with a culinary challenge, created a salad for the ages. Well, there you have it, you bunch of hungry learners. We've journeyed through the scandalous and surprising history of 13 everyday foods, exposing their deepest secrets and revealing their humble beginnings. If you enjoyed this culinary adventure, give us a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about these surprising food origins, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next culinary exposé. Now go out there and impress your friends with your newfound food knowledge. See you next time.